welcome to the stream where the game is not showing. Let's figure this out. Okay. Okay, the sound is working. That's a good start. Let's change it to that and then back to there we go. Okay. Let me... It's really hot in here, actually. Let me point my fan towards me. This fan is old and dying. What temperature is in here? 29 centigrade. It feels like more like 32. Anyway. So this one is it's a very weird Elder Scrolls game. From what I've heard, it doesn't have character creation. You play as a predefined character, and it also doesn't have. There's no first-person mode, and there's no no controller support at all. So let's start by going into the settings. We'll leave that as it is. The fact that it changes it, but there's no actual like slider is interesting. Subtitles on, movie interlace. Let's leave that at no. Sound seems to be good. Let's look at our controls. Okay, moving seems to be keyboard arrows, use control, view, alt. Okay, jump space, that makes sense. Walk left shift. So I guess I wonder if you hold left shift to walk instead of run, or if that toggles you between walking and running. Items, I, that makes sense. Map, M. Log, L. Sword, S. Okay, so wait, S to attack? That's so weird. Health, H. Health. What does that do? Heal you? Look at your health? I don't know. Next. Period, previous, comma. Okay. I'll try and keep all that in mind. We'll go for a new game. And I know, like, nothing about this game. At all, basically. I love this style of graphics from the like the 90s, the like late 90s. It has its own unique charm, you know. Redguard. Okay, very shiny words there. I'm excited for this because I actually usually play... The only Elder Scrolls game I played on stream was Oblivion Remastered so far, which I play as Bosmer, a Wood Elf. This is a bit loud, actually, on my end. Probably not for you guys, though. But I actually usually play as a Redguard. So, I'm excited to know more about Hammerfell. I don't even remember when I bought this, but this is the Steam version, but the Steam version is just, it's just the original, like a ROM of the original, basically running on DOSBox. By the way, how's the sound for you guys? Because it looks in the levels like it might be kind of high. Can you guys hear me okay? There's his name, Todd Howard.
It is late in the Second Era, a time of war, as the empire of Tiber Septim sweeps through the kingdoms of Tamriel in a glorious bid for conquest. Septim is opposed on all sides, but never more fiercely than by Hammerfell.
So Hammerfell isn't
the ancestral home of the Redguard.
Controlled by the
High
Empire
King
yet?
of Hammerfell.
Oh, that's
Assad
super
II,
interesting.
Resists the imperial invasions even as he sees other kingdoms
Oh, I love
crumble.
that.
Until
The Second
at
Era
last,
is also just
without
a
warning and
time that I'm really
surprisingly
interested
devoid
in.
of court treachery, death takes its full measure. With its High King dead,
With my ears,
Hammerfell is
yes, but the
crippled,
other part, my other part's
plunging into
not,
a
okay.
bloody civil war between the crowns, fighting
As
for
long
their
as the audio
homeland's
levels are good,
continued
you guys can
sovereignty,
hear me well.
and the forebears, who have finally accepted the Emperor's rule. The crowns, led by the heir to Facade, Prince Ator, are continually victorious, spilling the blood of the forebears across Hammerfell's sands. From his seat of power in the port city of Stros Makai, Prince
Stros
Ator
Makai, I
slowly
think I've heard that
reunites
name
his
before.
father's unraveled kingdom. Feeling their impending defeat, the forebears sign a pact with the Emperor, allowing him to bring his armies in, crush the crowns, and rule Hammerfell as his own.
That doesn't sound good.
Tiber Septim's armies prove too much for the proud Redguard crowns. Tiber Septim
I like how you can
sends
hear
his
the
best
compression of the
commander,
audio.
Lord Richten, to Stros Makai, to close the grip on Prince Ator and the crowns. The prince
Technologically, I think
rallies his
this
forces
is a very
for one
interesting
last
era
stand.
of computer games.
Knowing that Hammerfell's sovereignty is at stake, the crown forces match the might of the Empire, meeting them in the harbor of Stros Makai for the final battle. The fighting is fierce.
So this isn't going to take
Lord
place during
Richten,
the war?
having
It's
seen the
final
prince's
battle.
victories at sea before, decides to bring his last resource to the fore. The dragon, Nathalilagus, proud jewel of the Imperial crown.
Wait, they have like a
Ator
dragon at their
commands his
command?
archers to ready their weapons, but is struck down
That's
himself
nuts.
by Richten's assassin, felled by an arrow whose poison spreads too fast. Ator's wizard attempts to save the prince, but the dragon ends his magic and the crown's hope for victory in a single fiery breath. Having conquered
That's
the
so
crown,
interesting.
the Emperor's forces claim rule over all of Hammerfell. Imperial garrisons are stationed at every city, and Richten himself is named provisional governor of Stros Makai. Months pass.
Huh.
The Redguards of Hammerfell, both crown and forebear, learn to live under the new imperial rule, and Tiber Septim extends his reach into the rest of Tamriel. It is only through fate
Interesting.
that any of this will come to concern our hero, Cyrus, a
Cyrus, huh?
Redguard who long ago left Hammerfell to wander the borderlands of the Empire.
Krymie Cyrus, eto forwakecher okodor.
Oh, that's a whole different
Let's make this
language.
short, Sir Arthur. I've got work to do.
Oh, they're doing the Star Wars thing where they talk to each other in a different language, but understand each other.
I leave with Duardin's men in an hour.
I swear to God, that voice actor is still used in Oblivion.
You should know you got me the job.
Yeah, that is the same. That guy is in Oblivion too.
Sratra kolkotero to Hammerfell.
Sratra.
Boshe rot.
The seal is broken.
Sratra warega.
Yeah, I bet you were.
It's always really funny to me when we hear this Star Wars like thing.
Izara.
Like they're just like they're speaking different languages, but they're talking to each other, and if they can understand each other, why are they speaking different languages? That seems
need a
needless
ship.
pointless. I love that.
Money, too.
Sridwadinja, epakoja, srik. Pur sratra kadoeliter beko.
Sratra,
We haven't
huh?
spoken in 10 years. There was trouble.
Kakatar.
I killed her husband.
Oh dear. That's rather surprising.
Hammerfell's prodigal son, Cyrus, returns to the province of his birth. He buys passage to the island of Stros Makai in the hopes of rescuing his sister, Izara.
So I wonder what kind of person he is. I think that's the same Redguard actor too. That's the guy I was talking about. I think it might have been the same Khajiit actor, but the Redguard actor is what I was talking about. I am almost certain it's the same guy as like half the Redguards.
Is what the pilot said to the
In,
wicked maids before him.
The Restless League is claiming this cargo.
The rest of
Said the other with cruel clarity.
Probably wouldn't make a difference if I told you I had no time for this.
This is about
I had no time for
Redguard
this.
honor, boy.
As they're
Stand
sailing over
aside.
there anyway,
Yes,
this
an
isn't actually
outflow
going to
notion
take
it
more
is.
time.
Piracy and politics. But there you have it.
Never been much for politics. In my day, piracy was honest work.
Don't be a hero, boy.
Where's the money in that?
And yea, verily, by his bravery they were impressed for a scant few seconds.
Oh, so now we have an awkward transition to combat, I imagine. It's interesting how here the elves. Whoa. Okay, I'm going right. Okay, so S. Okay, so S means like not. S is to draw sword, not use sword. So maybe wait. Control. Okay.
You're rusty.
Use.
You really should get
You're rusty.
Oh, if I press.
Let me show
Wait.
the well-fucking argue.
Get to it, others.
This feels very awkward. Okay, I somehow killed one of them.
He thinks to himself, I'm overmatched here, obviously.
What on earth is this game? This is really weird. I don't even know if I'm doing damage to him.
You really
on, die,
should
die,
think to
die.
himself, no!
I saw some blood, so I'm doing damage. Is that like candle my health? What happens if I press H? That seemed to give me health back.
No!
Okay.
Cyrus.
That was
Captain,
awkward.
good to see you back in command.
Ah, please call me Brennan. You disposed of those ruffians so quickly, I had no time to retrieve my sword from my cabin.
That's so.
Look, over there.
It's interesting. This is more of like a typical adventure game.
Let us move on before more show up.
It's like it's more cinematic than Elder Scrolls typically is. Okay, so that was the thing that just happened. I can't say I'm fond of combat so far. It feels awkward and weird. I wonder if in this one combat is not the main, like...
I hope this
game
letter
thing.
finds your hands, friend. My latest travels have brought me to Strosmakai, and no one here has seen your
Strosmakai is
sister for
it's
3
such a
months.
nice sounding
I hear
name.
the worst. I feel obligated to stay for a few weeks. I'll be at the Dragon Tail Inn should you return. Goodbye.
Dragon Tail Inn. Okay, I can move it around. But what? Okay, I press enter. So I, saber, gold, health potion, letter. Okay, so H probably uses health potion. Okay, yeah, holding shift makes you... It makes you walk instead of run. This doesn't look like a real game. This looks like a game that somebody would be playing in... Wait.
One moment.
Go about your business, Redguard.
Oh, and now we're back to the calling, referring to people by the names of their races. That still feels racist. Talk to men, yeah,
Ahoy
sure.
there, sailor. Can I have a word with you?
Yeah, sure.
Greetings, stranger.
What can I do for you, friend?
The question is, what can I do for you?
Oh, he's
The young
probably
stranger in town, fearless, footloose, and fancy-free, a little light of purse, perhaps. I have a proposition that may appeal, but first allow me to introduce myself. Kataro, contractor of Strosmakai, at your service.
Is that
Cyrus.
so?
Charmed.
Okay, Dragon Tail.
I'm supposed to meet a friend at the Dragon Tail. Can you direct me?
It's the only watering hole in town. Follow the ramps uphill to the town square. Bit of friendly advice, watch your step. The forebears are a touchy lot these days.
Okay, occupation.
I haven't been in Hammerfell since before the war. How do you like being a citizen of the Empire?
Sure beats war, my young friend. I won't lie to you, though. Hard to find honest labor these days. Forebears would rather smirk than lift, and the crowns don't have the back for it
Yeah,
anymore.
for a moment, the opening of the video is still going. Nope. I can see why you would think that, though. Okay, crowns.
Sounds like the crowns are taking their defeat pretty hard.
Yeah, I've always stayed out of politics. Bad for business. Crown, forebear, I don't care. As long as their coin is true. My philosophy is, what's done is done. Live and let live.
Okay.
The grass is always greener, you know?
I wish I had some, like, Oragel or something, because I have, like, a sore inside my mouth. I don't know how I got there.
I guess the forebears are still savoring victory in the Civil War, eh?
Yeah, you could say that, although you might not want to say it in their faces. They're a touchy lot these days.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Forebears touchy.
I've been
Okay.
up north for years, but I was pretty sure the forebears won the war.
Of course they did. And the forebears like to bust up the dragon tail just in case anyone doubts it. Some ungenerous crowns like to point out the Imperial flags flying all over the palace and the Imperial soldiers patrolling the streets. None of my concern, though. Haha, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Okay. League.
What do you know about a group of ruffians calling themselves the Restless League?
Damn them and their bloody-minded ways. They've done more to ruin Stros Mackay than the Forebears and Empire combined. Hey, if it weren't for them, this city would have been at peace months ago.
Okay, what about Zara?
I wonder if you know my sister, Izara. I've come to Stros Mackay to find out what's happened to her.
I'm afraid I don't know her. I'm just a simple working man. You might try
Okay, that's
drinking us up at the
unsurprising.
Dragon Tail. Pretty much everyone in Stros
Yes.
Mackay passes through his door eventually.
Okay, contractor.
You call yourself a contractor. What does that mean?
I don't remember if he actually said that.
Over here
but
we
okay.
have someone who needs something done. Over there we have someone who's looking for work. How do they find each other? That's where I come in.
Eager and Stros Mackay.
How is the Restless League responsible for ruining Stros Mackay?
Burning or plundering half the cargoes headed for this port, stirring up the Imperials to ever more ruthless repression. The League doesn't seem to realize that the war is over, and they lost.
Interesting. League lost war? Were they part of the war?
You're saying the League was allied with the Crowns?
That depends on who you ask. I don't know. I'm not one of
Okay.
your political gentlemen, always in someone else's business. I'm just a poor working stiff. A bird in the hand is better, you know what they say.
Okay. Freakiest.
Freakiest?
Our friendly
he actually
local
just said
lizard.
Drakius there.
Not that I have anything against him, or her, or whatever. Can't ever tell with those Argonians. Runs the Dragon Tail, the tavern
I
on the
don't know.
town
It
square.
kind of seems like you're a little racist against Argonians, but maybe it's just my imagination.
Tell me about this job you have for me.
A simple task. Pick up an amulet from the Gasta and deliver it to the
Hydrate,
governor's
sir.
palace.
Yeah, we'll hydrate.
Now, to be honest, I've been having trouble finding someone to take the job. But I'm sure a robust lad such as yourself pays no attention
Okay,
to
I
silly
hydrated
local
and I trashed.
superstitions. Are you interested?
Sure, why not?
Sure. I'll take the job.
Splendid. Here's your 100 gold. I'll have the rest for you after you deliver the
100,
amulet
wow.
to the governor. Well, I'm sure you won't have any trouble, but, you probably want to do
So
this
there's a
during the
day-night-
daylight.
The day-night cycle? About the job. Why during the daylight?
Refresh my memory about this job you hired me for.
A simple task. Pick up an amulet from the Gasta and deliver it to the governor's
Nagasta. Where's
palace.
Nagasta, though?
Nagasta?
Yeah, a harmless old hermit. The more superstitious of my fellow citizens repeat silly rumors about him, but I put no stock in their tales. He lives in the old wizard's tower. Just follow the shoals
So he's
on the
probably a
northwest
wizard.
side of the island.
Okay,
Any
amulet.
idea what's so important about this amulet?
That's between the Gasta and the governor. I just get paid to find the delivery man.
Okay, fair enough.
Where can I
Governor's
find the
palace.
governor's palace?
Right at the top of the hill. You can't miss it. The grandest structure in Stros Mackay, maybe in all of Hammerfell. Quite the tourist
Okay.
attraction before the late unpleasantness.
Superstitions.
What superstitions do the locals harbor about this Nagasta?
Oh, you know, they call him a
The music is good.
necromancer. Prattle about him stealing people's souls.
So he's a necromancer.
Armies of undead, you know, that sort of thing. Nothing a well-armed fellow like yourself would worry about.
I wanted this game to run with 3DFX hardware acceleration. I assume this is a virtual machine. No, this is DOSBox. It runs like directly. The Steam version just like it just opens DOSBox and like runs the game directly.
We'll talk later.
Okay, so warehouse. I don't think we need to go in a warehouse. Okay, where are we even going? We need... Moby Game said this is Windows game. It is, but it's DOS or Windows like 3.1 or probably 95. So yes, but no. I bet it'd probably run on like Windows XP or something, but this is another reason that I'd really like to get my my old PC fixed. Where on earth am I going? There's a map, right? I could have sworn it said M was for map, but I'm pressing M and there's nothing happening, so. There's a person over there. Anyway, I'm probably gonna install Windows 98. I was gonna install XP, which is what it had originally.
Well, what are we doing out so far?
Oh, so he wants to hurt me.
What? That what? That hurt? Lambkin? Just a few more, lad. I'm so sorry, but I need you. What? I'm
Why is he so
sorry.
soft-spoken? Can I, like, loot him? Here, let's press health. And then go to inventory. Yeah, so health.
A map, Strosmakai.
Oh, cool. So we're right there. Isles of Nagasta. Of course, everyone was getting it was sort of the same as a boxing club. Yeah, of course. I can't say I'm in love with the controls. Oh my god. That's kind of funny. Okay, so, whoa. We probably don't want to fall in the ocean. Oh. That's cool.
That's so,
Look,
Do you
over
ever get
there.
do you try to get an old Voodoo 3 card for it? Okay, I will do that. I think that's how they made was a Voodoo 3 line. Not sure how easy to find that is. I have heard
Let us move on before more show up.
of the. I'm gonna skip any videos. Okay, no, we're not. We gotta wait. But I know that the Voodoo graphic cards were very highly regarded. Let me skip. Okay. The game just crashed. We love that. Uh-oh, it's the Bethesda experience, yeah. Come on, I don't want you to be in full screen. There we go. Didn't say it did it. Okay, new game again it is. I had a Voodoo card at home and it really made games look a lot better for late 90s standards. Good to know.
Let me show the well-packing Mark.
Okay, we got one of them down already, that's good.
You really should. He thinks to himself.
Wow.
You really should have reconsidered.
You're like, yo, you should have reconsidered it.
We can use
But,
it
like,
for a fair hit, but it won't. We can use it for no. He thinks to himself. I'm
yeah,
over
you say that I should have reconsidered, but you attacked me.
Cyrus.
Captain, good to see you back in command.
Ah,
I see.
please call
I'll
me
imagine.
Brennan. You dispose.
You know what? I'm gonna save right now. Game description. There. Ah, yeah. I'll try loading it just to make sure it's there.
That's so,
Look,
Okay.
over there.
So let's save often in case the game just decides that it doesn't want to live anymore.
Let us move on before more show up.
Okay. What about the next button? That doesn't work. There's already a Sid Meier's Pirates, so I should go back to that game. The only Sid Meier game I played was Sid Meier's Civilization 2. I think I used DOSBox for that because modern games
Let her find your
don't.
hat.
They're not very well equipped to play a game like that.
Ah, Cyrus. And how do you do?
Okay.
Brennan, can I have a minute?
Anything for your like, Cyrus.
Wow. Okay. Sorry.
I am looking for my sister Izar. Perhaps you have heard of her.
I'm afraid not. Before the Empire cleaned things up, Stros Mackay was a pirate haven, avoided by honest merchants like myself.
Okay. Tell us about Pirate
It
Haven.
seems the Empire has not eliminated all the pirates from Stros Mackay.
Apparently so. They've become bold, attacking a ship so far into Hunding Bay. But give it time. The Empire has only been here a few months.
So by the time that it's by like the third age, it seems like Redguards are pretty much just like normal citizens of the Empire.
The Empire has done well in its conquest of Hammerfell, you think?
Absolutely. No offense, but Hammerfell is in need of some law and order.
Okay, what about Dragon
I'm meeting
Tail?
a friend at the Dragon Tail. Can you direct me?
I can't recommend it, but it's the only drink hole in this godforsaken town.
There's a
Up
D&D
the
game
bridge,
where they send on
you
and
see
on
to the right,
cross, but
through
it's
the gate to the
kind of-
town
I
square.
see.
You will see the sign.
Okay, wait, what did he say?
I'm meeting a friend at the Dragon Tail. Can you direct me?
I can't
Okay, so we can't
recommend
go
it,
back and forward.
but it's the only drink hole in this godforsaken town. Up the bridge, you see to the right, through the gate to the town square.
Okay, up the
You will
bridge
see
through
the
the right.
sign.
Up the bridge to the right through the gate to the town square. Okay.
How has Stros Mackay fared under its new Imperial masters?
The locals are still chafing at the bit, but in time, they will come to appreciate the benefits of membership in the Empire.
That's so,
So I guess he's probably an Imperial. I don't think we need to talk to him about the league.
Thanks. We'll talk later.
I can't help but think that this could have benefited from a PlayStation port because of controller, like, you know.
Hey, sailor.
Okay, yeah, we can talk to you.
Hi there.
Talk to woman. I didn't even do that.
May I trouble you for a moment, my lady?
Lady, you say? You must be new in town. Besides, the owner would have remembered you.
Is that
Cyrus, at your service.
so? Okay, Dragon Tail.
A friend is meeting me at the Dragon Tail. Do you know it?
Sure, Sienna knows it all right. Used to be a favorite of mine till that damn lizard barkeep got all high and mighty on me. Does this friend have a name?
Sure.
Tobias. Do you know him?
This is a fantasy
Get
game.
hunting
That it
his
is.
goblins? Of course I know him. One of my best customers, and I'm no lie. Any friend of Tobias is a friend of Sienna. I'll be happy to help you out any way I can.
Okay, cool. Lizard.
This lizard barkeep. An Argonian?
She's racist
Don't know
Argonians,
about
isn't
it,
she?
but that Dreekius is a damn nuisance to us working girls. Pretentious of grandeur, he
is she a
has.
prostitute?
Nobody before bears in there now anyway. And I wouldn't catch that gut for any collar corn.
I think she is.
You don't care for
Dreekius.
Dreekius, then?
Well, he's not a bad sport for a lizard.
For a
He
lizard,
means
she's-
just don't
yeah, she's
the
racist.
friendship of the thighs, so to speak. But he
Friendship
knows
with the
anyone is
thighs,
anyone on his
oh.
island. No mistake.
Certain second. So, I have nothing against her for being a prostitute. You know, like it's a job, but not a fan of racism. What is? I keep putting my foot on a. Putting my foot on like a power adapter, and it's really hot. It's making me worried. But I can't figure out what it's for. Oh, I think it's for my monitor. I'll look into that later. Okay, Zara. Okay, if
Do
you know
a
everybody,
young lady named Zara? My sister, last seen over 3
being an
months ago.
Allosaurus is also a job. That's true.
Bizarre, yes. I see the family resemblance. Can't say I know her, though. She was all caught up in them troubles we had when the young prince was...
We'll talk later. Be careful.
Okay, let's save. Wait, not new game. Save over this one. I'll load it, just be careful because I don't trust this game. Okay.
One moment.
Sorry, man. Imperials everywhere. I don't talk with strangers.
Okay. Why is it playing two soundtrack files at the same time? Garrick's Goods. You know what? Sure, let's go into Garrick's Goods. This game is very weird. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do.
Good day.
Talk to Elf.
Hello, shopkeeper. My name is Cyrus.
Pleased to meet you, my good fellow. Garrick, your humble servant.
Garrick, huh?
I wonder if you know my sister Izara.
Izara? Zara! A lovely name, by the way.
Okay.
I believe she may have been mixed up with those League pirates. Am I right?
Is that so?
That's what I'm trying to find out. She's been missing for 3 months. What do you know about them?
That bloodthirsty gang of villains. If your poor sister was connected with them, I'm afraid to speculate on what might have happened. Pretty. They've been a plague on Stros Mackay for years, although the cowards haven't dared show their faces since the Imperials arrived. Plate Garrick knows more. Knows more.
Plate Parrot? Knows more, okay.
Please, if you know anything more about Izara.
Well, she came into my shop some time ago, looking for malachite.
Malachite.
Don't stock it, of course. Unusual request. But she was very insistent. Squawk! Sister, plenty money. Bright face. Izara offered me a tidy sum for the malachite, much more than it was worth. I said I could have some for her in 3 weeks, but she needed it right away. I'm afraid she may have tried the smuggler's den, dear me. Not a place to walk into with a purse full of gold.
Okay, where's the smuggler's den?
Smuggler's den?
Yes, under the cartographer's shop. An open secret around town. I'm sure those smugglers are connected with the Restless League. Selling Valenwood wine stolen from my own ships at double the price since they have no competition. I can't prove any of it, of course. I'm a pretty bird.
It is a pretty bird. Malachite.
Did Izara say why she needed malachite?
I'm sorry, no. Not much call for it anymore, now that the alchemist shop is closed.
Malachite for alchemist.
Old Brahmish crossfinger!
Malachite is used in alchemy.
I believe so. Old Vromish, the alchemist, used to order a pound or two from time to time. But he's been dead now these 7 years. And the Mages Guild gets their potions wholesale, so I haven't carried malachite since.
The Mages Guild sells potions?
Yes, they now have an official monopoly on magic of any kind. Archmage Vo is took advantage of his access to the prince at the expense of us small businessmen.
So he's not
Remains to be
potions.
seen what the new imperial policy will be. Governor Richton's too busy with his archaeological hobby to bother with a small matter like economic policy.
The governor is an archaeology buff?
He's crazy over anything Dwarven. The Dwarven ruins are full of soldiers looking for who knows what. Richton better hope the Emperor never finds out how he's wasting his valuable troops.
Why would they want to
Where are these Dwarven ruins?
Down on the south end of the island. You won't get in, though. Richton's men have sealed the gates.
Let's talk about the
The
Imperials.
Empire crushed the Restless League?
I assume so. They haven't been seen around Stros Mackay for months. The League pretended to be patriotic rebels after the Crown's defeat, but a few encounters with Imperial warships quieted them down right quick.
I see. Let's talk about
What
the
do you
League.
know about the Restless League?
A collection of the worst scum from the sewers of Stros Mackay. Pirates who'd cut your throat as soon as look at you. I know your sister's name.
What did he say?
Ignore Orsine. Good Cyrus, he's a halfwit. What were we talking about?
The League.
Of course you know my sister's name. We were just talking about it. How could you not?
I'd like to make a purchase.
Splendid. What do you need?
Okay, compass sounds
That
like a
looks
good
like
idea.
a decent compass.
The one item no one should be without. Never lose your way again. For the small investment of 50 gold, peace of mind for a lifetime.
I don't know, that's like most of my money. What do you think, Chad? Should I blow all my money on a compass? We're looking at the parrot and not the actual guy. I think I'll not buy it for now.
I'll have to think about it.
I'm sure you'll change your mind.
I'm sure I will too when I'm not so broke. A feather.
Interesting feathers.
Ah, yes, from the exotic canna bird, a favorite of mine, for they are bred on Somerset Isle, bred for their beauty, I might add. They make an excellent gift for 10 gold.
Oh, that's like a pretty
bird. 10 gold.
Why not?
I'll take it.
A pleasure doing business with you, Cyrus.
I have a hangnail on my toe. Let me take care of that. There we go. I have taken care of it. What about the shovel?
The shovel over there, how much?
A sturdy shovel. Just the thing for the intrepid treasure hunter. Guaranteed not to break, scratch, or dent. A bargain at only 30 gold.
Less than the compass, okay. But not yet.
I'll have to think about it.
I'm sure you'll change your mind.
What about aloe?
What's aloe going for today?
Aloe leaves from southern Hammerfell. The best. Fresh every week. Excellent for soothing those aches and pains. And just 15 gold per bunch.
So what does it do? I'll say yes.
I'll take it.
You won't regret it.
I wonder if it heals you. Probably, I'm gonna guess it heals you, but less than a potion. Okay, finally.
How much for a torch?
A classic design. Functional and long-lasting. For you, Cyrus, 20 each.
Let's put a pin in that. I don't have enough money for it.
I'll have to think about it.
I'm sure you'll change your mind.
Okay.
Thanks for the time, Garrick.
Okay, yeah, we got 28.
Probably need to find something to use it with.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, exit Garrick's. Okay, I just went through a wall. Just a little bit. That's gotta be the governor's, like, place. Ooh, is this it? No, that's the silversmiths. Snake charmer.
He looks a little preoccupied.
Oh yeah, no shit. Welling.
Well?
Hello, my name is Cyrus.
Okay, let's see if he can.
And mine is Trithic, lad.
Trithic?
I'm looking for my sister Izara. Perhaps you've seen her?
I do not know the name, but so many have been lost since the dragon arrived.
She went missing about 3 months ago.
If she was with the crowns, I would count her among the casualties. Richton's slaughter was elegant only in its thoroughness.
Okay. Dragon.
This dragon, an imperial metaphor, perhaps?
Banner and bone, young Redguard. Seek the old quarter if you want to see the handiwork of both.
Okay.
What happened to the old court?
It was the last stand of the Loyalist crowns, and Governor Richton had it destroyed. It smolders still, all ash and dragonfire. Few escaped the incident.
Perhaps I should speak to this Richton then.
Spoken true, my boy. But I'd advise against it. The Imperials suffer no Redguards in the palace, unless you're forebear, and you walk on too few legs to be that.
Few legs. That is scary.
Tell me of the forebears.
Throne defilers all, hosts to the invader, and Hunding's shame.
Okay.
It seems quiet here, especially for a port city. How fares Stros Mackay under Imperial rule?
Defeat is read in every native face, my boy. The war cost the city much, including its voice. The crowns are no more. As kingless as Yokuda, lost now to song which no one will sing, lest Richton hear. Overmuch. The governor is the reason Stros Mackay is so quiet.
Okay, Ogdemon, you gotta get going now. Yep, thanks for stopping by.
I have not heard mention of Yokuda since my childhood.
The first land, where the Redguards came from in blessed Hunding's day.
Okay, Hunding.
I saw the statue of Hunding on my way into port. I'm surprised Richton hasn't leveled it yet.
He cannot or will not, for it keeps the goblins out of Stros Mackay, out and
Goblins,
under.
huh?
Such is Frandar Hunding's grace that he blinds them still.
Let's talk
There
about
are
these
goblins under Stros Mackay?
And worse, but you needn't worry about them. They are doomed to the dirt and bother the Redguard no more.
Okay.
I fear that my sister's disappearance had something to do with the Civil War.
Don't you mention
I
the
read
game
more
there.
than
Okay, I'll read
fear
them once
in
I
your
know with
case,
the,
Either retribution or
the
redemption.
stream.
Alas, sometimes they are the same. Neither can come without wounds.
I said nothing about redemption or...
Why else would you be here in this narrative? In you,
How can the two be the same?
in their concern for blood, in blood as closure. I assure you, it will be spilt before you find your sister. A prayer may do you
We've
well.
already killed 2 guys, so...
Where should I pray?
At the Temple of Blessed Arcade, Brother Niddle presides
Okay,
there,
so they
and he knew most
worship
of
the
the
Night
people in town. He may know something
Why
about your
does he,
sister.
like, pause randomly?
Where is the temple?
In the town square, shoreside from the pool.
Shore side from the pool. That doesn't make much sense to me. Okay. You know, let's ask him
The
about
ship
the
that
league.
brought me here was beset upon by some rascals called the Restless League. What do you know about them?
They were the necessary cancer of a nation divided and at war, grown at the borders where the kingdom's skin is most contested by the foreign sword. Fearless men, whose names are all too often breathed in hate. Don't believe them too wrong, for even the prince had their ear.
Okay, tell me about this prince.
What did the Imperials do to the prince?
A Tor was slain at sea, and there his body was lost, thankfully. Already the obligatory prophecy of his return has begun, spoken in hush, an ill surrogate for true hope this season. The Redguard should know better, be blind to desperate omen. Thasad's son has left us, winged swift and sadly, never to return.
Body, why thankfully?
How can you be thankful that Prince Ador's body was lost at sea?
Insofar that the seabed may claim him before the necromancer does, that is all. That his soul may rest easy from the snare surround.
Tell me about the necromancer.
A westward evil, a seat in the ash-gray shoals, on parade now that the Empire's here, lad. So don't die.
Okay, I'll try.
Should I fear death more than normal then?
The snare waits for those who don't.
Okay.
Thanks, Trip. I've got to go.
I'm still not sure where to go to find this, like, place. Let's look at that map. Because we're supposed to go to a town square. They say left through the gate, but it can't be this gate, right? I don't remember if this is the way we went last time. No, this is where I went last time, but it's still, I want to get the map, so. I'll get the map and then I'll go back to town. Stros Mackay, Isle of Regatta. Okay. Okay, this is the desert where I fought the guy. Wait, was it Alt to move camera? There was a button to move camera. I forgot what it was. At least I think. View was Alt.
Well, what are we doing out so far from town? Keep your tools sharp, my dad used to say. You can use what? That. Just I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Just a few more. I'm so sorry. What?
Why is he so soft-spoken?
I'm so sorry, but I need your coin, so you must. I'm so sorry, but I need your coin, so you must die. The prey in his paws are soon parted, my. I'm so sorry, but I need your coin, so you must die.
I'm doing worse than I did last time.
The prey in his paws are soon parted, my friend.
Okay. So that didn't work. I need the map.
Oh, boy
there,
there, sailor. Can I have a word with you? Greetings, stranger.
What can I do for you, friend?
The question is, what can I? I have a proposition that may appeal, but first allow me to introduce myself. Kotaro.
Saris.
Okay, I think I somehow skipped it.
Tell me about the...
Now, to be honest, but I'm...
Sure.
Splendid. Here's your...
Okay, Dragon Town.
I'm supposed to meet a friend at the Dragon...
It's the only watering hole in town. Follow the ramps uphill to the town square.
I did that.
Bit of friendly advice. Watch your step.
We'll talk later.
upstairs to the town square, and then... So this has got to be in the town square. So it's got to be around here somewhere, right? Maybe that's it. It's a bell tower. Maybe it's over here then. Over here? I don't know, this doesn't seem like... That's the jail, okay. That's just a door, it says. Here we are, finally! It's only an hour in, and we finally found. Okay, that should be, yeah, okay, good.
What will it be, traveler?
Cyrus! You made it! Come here,
No, I'm talking
lad.
to Dracus.
Barkeep, well met. I'm Cyrus.
I know. I had Tobias made out a fool to believe you'd come.
What?
I'm the one that smuggled his letter out for him. The Empire's been watching all shipments from this port. I figured our chances were slim.
Okay.
Many thanks, then.
Izara.
What can you tell me about Izara?
She frequented this establishment much before the battle in Hunting Bay. Less after, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
She was a fervent one, your nestling, who hated the Empire not in hushed tones. After the occupation, she disappeared for a while.
She disappeared 3 months ago.
No, I'm talking about before that, right after the battle. Many crowns made themselves scarce then. Izara was one of them. I didn't see her for several weeks following. Later she showed up, needing a drink and rambling, intent on some decision.
What then?
The Imperials came, and I let her out through the window. I haven't seen her since.
Okay. Battle of Stros Makai.
So Izara did survive the Battle of Stros Makai.
Aye, she did, and then hid well in its aftermath. Until 3 months ago.
Okay, tell us about the Imperials.
You said the Imperials came here looking for Izara the last night you saw her.
Not specifically for Izara. The Imperials had a list of dissidents they sought. Her name was there, with names of many other crowns. Since that time, I see only forebears here.
Okay. Tell us about the forebears.
The forebears seem to enjoy your place.
The Imperial liquor tax has forced me to serve everyone, even the city's ancestral villains.
Makes sense. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Tell me about the crowns.
Their fire is gone since the prince was lost. Few show their faces in Strosmichai. Some have passed to the mainland. Some few plot and scheme still, nursing fading dreams.
Okay, I can understand it.
Hey, Dreeky, I got this delivery job that'll get me into the palace for sure.
What are you going to deliver?
Some amulet meant for the governor.
Do you have it yet?
Not yet. I've got to get it at the Necromancer's Isle.
Don't forget to bring some gold to pay the boatman, Cyrus. And be careful.
Thanks, Dreekius, I will.
The boatman, huh? Let's talk about Strosmakai.
Is this your first visit to Strosmakai, Cyrus?
Aye, but the occupation makes it seem less so. With the Imperial standards aloft at port, it seems like any other vassal town of Cyrodiil.
But for the unrest of like blood?
The only blood I care about is my sister's. As far as I'm concerned, new kingless Hammerfell has gone its way.
Your apathy is decidedly reptilian.
I don't know how to take that coming from you.
Yeah, that's... I don't know why you'd say that. Okay, let's talk about the rest.
What do you think of the Restless League?
A human tribe of ill account, but whose single-mindedness is something I can fathom.
It's like moving his
Their
head so much like
raids
this.
upset my smuggling operations, and off thus my fair nature. Valenwood wine's hard to come by, you see.
Valen
But
wine.
over that, I have nothing worse to say.
Something you can fathom.
You sympathize with the League, then?
Oh no, I merely noted their clannish drives, which any Argonian might admire. Being used, as we are, to honor the clan's interests about our own private affairs.
How then does an Argonian manage to leave his tribe to wander Tamriel?
You refer to me? I do not wander, Redguard. This is a settled study for me, from which I'll add to the wealth of wisdoms when I return to my clan.
Interesting. Argonians.
How have the denizens of Black Marsh resisted the Empire so long?
I like how that window can't decide if it wants to
1,000
exist or not.
miles of swamp, bog, and stink aren't attractive to most humans. And terror of the Kanatan flu
Kanatan
still
flu.
holds most at bay. But our days of testing will come.
Okay,
What's your
step.
subject
of study?
See right there, the
other,
window's
of
there.
course. Those ones not skinned in scale. We see that Septine's tribes will not be long satisfied with the thrones of men and the Elder Race.
Elder Race has gotta be Myrrh.
One day they will come to Black Marsh. Argonians have lost land once before, when we did not know our enemy.
I see, and what
Okay, that
better
makes
place
sense.
to learn the wants of men than at the bar?
There are other places, universities, the military, the magical guild, but I aim to chart man's geography of desire, which is most readily charted when he is drunk and blathering.
That makes sense.
I'd better
Okay,
keep
goodbye.
moving. Can we talk later?
Anytime, anytime.
This game has notably better voice acting for its day than any other Elder Scrolls game I've played.
Cyrus! You made it!
They're like slow.
Come here,
like,
lad.
Like turn.
How you look good. It's been too long.
If you hadn't retired...
Mercenary life's younger men's work.
Bah, he said.
I prayed that you would get my letter.
He's the Aragonian is right there. Such a Drevis is such a creature. Just like standing there buying this. So is he a Nord or what?
It is lucky you were here, Tobias, or I wouldn't have known Azara was in trouble. I have not been in Hammerfell since the,
I know, lad, what you mean.
Anyway, Stros Mackay has no one who could have reached me. Thank
The
you.
lighting is
I
interesting.
sent a letter some weeks ago, Cyrus. I fear things have gotten worse for your sister since.
Okay, worse for sister.
How do you
That's
mean
an
worse?
interesting thing.
What
That's
more
you
do you know about Azara?
Nothing more than my letter is described. That she is gone and no one knows where. Just a bad feeling that's grown worse with the wait. The governor has not been merciful with the crowns that survived the battle. I hear his dragon's belly is full of the overloud, and that many died later in the burning of the old quarter.
Who knew he's
Who in this town knew of Azara?
I did not question many for fear of ill allegiance, so I went to the temple to ask of her. For the brothers of RK are neutral in mortal affairs.
That makes
There,
sense.
Brother Niddle told me that Azara had vanished, and set me on the road of writing you. Also, Dreekius here knew that she was missing too.
Okay, letter.
How did you know where to reach me, Tobias? Our paths parted so long ago.
I didn't send it to you directly. I knew that damn cat was probably still getting you into trouble, even to this day.
Damn cat.
Thrathra seemed the likely solution, and through the channels I'd heard, he'd made Wayrest his port of late.
Okay.
Now, he's moved from the throne seekers of the old empire to the lesser lords of High Rock, still playing them to his benefit, raking in the gold on all fronts.
I thought that Septim had solidified the Britons.
As much as the Witchmen will, there is still a lot of money to be made in the drawing of borders before the provincial laws dry completely.
That makes sense.
Mercenaries are in great demand right now, as are fixers like our cat friend.
Does he still stink so?
To hear.
I think I will go see him when I leave. It's been too long.
Okay, old quarter.
What happened to the old quarter?
Well, he
The
did say it
crowns
was burned.
fled ashore there after the battle. It was their last stand. The governor sent his dragon, and it was done.
I'm guessing the dragon's
his
probably gonna be a
owner
pile boss.
That section of town is closed off. No one I've talked to knows if she was there or not.
Okay, dragon.
Where's the dragon now?
It's disappeared too. Some say it has returned to the imperial province. Others say the governor keeps it well paid and fed in the catacombs below the palace.
I wonder which is true.
Is there another way into the catacombs?
There is the traditional way.
Is that
Imagine
the
that
guy?
I laughed. Secret entrance, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
So the priests are still safe from being conquered.
Be that as it may, the temple is quite empty of priests, save for Brother Niddle. It seems some of their ranks have disappeared also.
I'm noticing a theme. Where did you hear that?
Niddle told me Brother Cathral vanished around the same time as your sister, and that they knew each other.
Brother Nidal.
So I can count Brother Niddle as an ally then?
On my word, he was most helpful, but he seemed to be holding something back.
I wouldn't consider
so?
paranoia a bad character trait in Stros Mackay these days. Besides, you're so ugly.
That was it. He may open up to you more, being Azara's brother and half as hard to look at.
So he just accepted, like, oh yeah, okay, I'm ugly. Come on, man, you don't just accept it.
Tell me about the temple.
The head priest, a Brother Niddle, was very helpful in regards to Azara.
Okay.
He seemed to know her well, and shared my concern over her disappearance. He is worth an interview.
I think I saw it across the plaza.
So, what about Stros Mackay?
What brought you to Stros Mackay?
War and the rumors of war. Every merchant that's near and seaworthy has come to Strosmakai in the wake of recent events. Either in the service of the provisional governor or to fill the sea lines that Septim has shattered, and that the crowns can run no more. I thought I might profit from a visit, but it has brought naught but sorrow and the sign of darker days. I fear I shall be leaving none too soon.
Okay.
You are leaving, Captain? When and wherefore?
At sunset, if all goes well, and as for where, whither I will.
Whither I will.
Strosmakai
That's
is
a
not
very
for me.
distinct answer.
But I thought you might help me.
The Imperials have been asking about yours truly around the docks lately. I fear my inquiries into Izara's disappearance have interested them in all the wrong ways. I will help you as I can through the course of this day, but after that I must be done with it. I'm too old for an Imperial prison.
Okay.
It won't come to that.
You haven't been here long enough. My ship is ready to leave at sundown, but don't worry. I'll be here until then to help you along if you need it. A lot can transpire in a day. We will see each other again.
Okay. Merchant.
Since when were you a merchant, Tobias?
The fight left me after our little foray into Morrowind.
Morrowind.
It's been sweet commerce ever since.
I guess Morrowind's probably pretty inhospitable to Redguards and Nords and men of all kind, honestly. At this point.
Since when were you a merchant, Tobias?
I did not mean to say that.
The fight...
I've not returned to Morrowind since then.
Who'd want to? All that ash and fire. Those dark elves can keep their curse.
Don't forget the bugs.
Which reminds me,
So.
Governor Richten
Yeah, I
has a
played a
little thing
little
of
bit
his
more of
own
it, so.
from those parts. His lieutenant is a dark elf. Watch out for that one. Always close by the governor, hiding in his shadow.
So these guys seem like they might
means
themselves
he's
be a
got plenty
bit
of
of a
room
racist
to maneuver.
towards Dark Elves.
I'd welcome another chance at the Dark Elves. I've still got scars.
Watch yourself.
Yep. Watch yourself. Okay, let's ask about the Civil War.
Do you think Izara chose sides in the Civil War, and that is why she has disappeared?
Your family's always been partisan, lad, since your early days in Sentinel. I ventured she still held her old allegiances, even if you haven't.
Makes
Few
sense.
crowns in Strosmakai survived the battle with the Imperials, but I know Izara was one of them.
How?
Hearing of the defeat of the crowns caused me much concern. When I arrived, I searched for word of Izara's safety. The only ones here who knew of her said that she had disappeared shortly after the Imperials landed.
Okay, battle.
Do you know if Izara fought in the Battle of Strosmakai?
My investigations were limited, I'll admit. If she fought, I can't say. But I would guess that she did. The battle was the penultra of the crowns, and all who subscribed to the name no doubt took up arms.
Okay, that makes
While
sense.
most of them were slain at sea, others have been taken prisoner by the governor.
Okay, let's ask about the governor. I want to know more about him.
Tell me about the provisional governor, Captain.
When I arrived, his soldiers showed me the finer points of Richten's new docking tax, and scoured my ship for leaguesmen. I must say he's a bit of an asshole. You'd better watch yourself around him.
So why aren't you in jail?
Meaning why aren't said soldiers in little boxes at the foot of the palace gate? Because I didn't come to port to get myself in trouble, but to get your sister out.
Okay.
Should I look into seeing this governor then?
That's where I'd look, laddie.
So we need to get the,
Could she be in jail?
I haven't exactly knocked on the door to find out. That's your job
yeah, I
now.
guess we gotta go get that.
But I know the
amulet
jail's
and then
off
find the
limits to
governor.
non-Imperials. Now, read no visitors whatsoever.
We'll see about that.
Okay, let's ask about the Imperials.
I see the harbor is already arrayed in the flags of the Emperor, and that his men walk the streets as if born to them.
Strosmakai's a dangerous port these days. There's an empire to be built, you know, and Tiber Septim shows no sign of slowing its increase from here to the edge of the world map. High Rock's border kings bent knee to the Cyrodiil long ago. Even my father's fair Skyrim is adorned with flags of red dragons and foreign men. We are entering a new era, I fear, with Septim's name written long and wide upon it.
Okay, Tiber
Any
Septim.
kind words for our new emperor?
He is good at what he does and sees the holes lesser men leave wide. No offense to your Prince Ator, of course.
Okay.
Hammerfell's problems are her own. I was only asking if Septim was the tyrant they say.
Of course he is. Tyranny means never having to say you're sorry.
Weird.
But Izara's fate has nothing to do with the Emperor, I'm sure. Look to the provisional governor if you suspect imperial entanglements. He's the real tyrant around here.
Okay, let's ask about Skyrim.
So the Nord kings have submitted to Tiber Septim too.
They do not worry over much. They have outlasted empires before, and this conquest will be no different. Hammerfell has been the bloodiest invasion of current record, and by comparison, Skyrim's occupation seemed like a ballet.
Interesting.
How long were you in Wayrest, Cyrus?
Long enough to piss off the locals.
A bay ride from Sentinel. Close enough for you to hear about Prince Ator, then.
Yes, of late the criers are tripping over each other. There's so much to report of the blisteries out.
And you've listened to it all, I'm sure.
Fine, recount all word of Prince Ator that I have shamefully ignored.
When his father died and the capital of Sentinel was taken over by the forebears, the prince fled back here to his ancestral home of Strosmakai. After rallying the crowns to his stead, he made for the throne again and had it near.
A lot of the reason I'm playing
That's when the Empire came.
I can't exactly
Through a forebear truce which no one expected. Again, the prince was forced back to Strosmakai, which he died defending. He will not long be forgotten. Lizard, another drink?
Okay. Well, that's about the forebear
What
truce.
were the terms of the forebear truce?
Originally, the Empire was to lend its armies to the forebear cause in return for a swath of holding titles along the southeast border. But when Baron Volag disappeared during the arse end of the war, all bets were off. A new treaty was formed, which garrisoned those imperial armies in the cities.
Until such a time as the native rulership can see fit to reinstate itself safely on its rightful throne.
Something like that, yes, sir.
Okay. Let's talk about Cyrodiil then.
Septim's no Cyrodiil from what I've heard, though he rules their remnants and rebuilds their empire. He's something worse or greater, depending on your disposition to the center, son.
If he has no blood tie to the Cyrodiil throne, then how did he make it his?
Come on. For the last 400 years, the petty kings of Cyrodiil have been squabbling over the title of Emperor, all claiming forebearance. Imperial throne's blood's thinner than a sea dream and half as wet. Tiber Septim took the throne as he took your peoples.
Hail the new conqueror.
There's a good little subject.
Okay, what are the
You
petty
used
kings
to
of
hire
Cyrodiil?
out to those petty kings, did you not?
20 years ago, maybe, when the whole heart of Tamriel was in chaos. I could admire Tiber Septim insofar that he has managed to consolidate the rags and tatters that bickered there then.
No empire is a good thing, Captain.
There's a Redguard for you.
We haven't really heard of Tiber Septim in a bad light except for his worship being banned later. That's very interesting.
Imperial expansion has been feared for years. Why wasn't Hammerfell better prepared?
Factional squabbles, divided councils, miscalculations. Crowns lost heart when they lost the capital. Forebears lost their heads completely when they welcomed the Empire's friendship and aid.
So the Empire played the forebears pretty well, eh?
What else is a visionary with an open invitation to do? The forebears are having futile second thoughts now, no doubt. Probably why they're so bitter and driven to bar brawls.
Okay, well now we can say so many
What
more
of the
things.
crowds?
Not too many left around here. The few that are don't admit it to just anyone.
Okay.
How have the forebears fared under Septim's rule?
The throne of Sentinel is kept warm by another imperial governor. That should be indication enough.
Okay.
How is the city of Sentinel? I never returned.
For long my men plied the Iliac, and Sentinel was along the run. That's how I came to know that Izara moved from there to here. I kept up with her for your sake. If even it were a dream to think anything would come of it. When Volag's purge ignited through the north, I went there seeking to help her.
Sarah's,
But she was already
husband.
gone. Later, I learned she'd come to Stros Mackay.
Okay, Volag's
What
purge.
was Volag's purge?
When Fassad died, Baron Volag led the forebears into an uprising for control of the capital. All crowns were forced to leave Sentinel after that first massacre. Your sister was among those that followed the prince here to Stros Mackay to plan the counterattack. I swear, Cyrus, are you always such a lame brain when it comes to word of recent Hammerfell?
I've come to cultivate a certain indifference about the homeland.
And this is a
Right now.
good thing?
So his character is in question. Again.
She was your sister, Cyrus.
I was probably miles away.
A proximity often and on purpose, I'd suspect. Yeah, well, you're here now.
That was kind of awkward and weird.
Fassad II, so storied in song. It was unwise to invest the Republic on one man.
The forebears are over there, Cyrus, if you want the company to match the sentiment.
No, it's just... I mean, he was dying when I was still a young kid. We Redguards were only waiting for it to happen. My father kept his profession in one hand and a whetstone in the other.
A whetstone, huh?
We knew that civil war would come. If Fassad was so great, why didn't he do more in his life to protect the kingdom after his death?
Some things have to be left for the sun.
No, I think Cyrus is right on this.
The head of the forebears is a subject of the Empire now.
Or subject to the Empire's execution, from spake of it. He disappeared the day Stros Mackay was taken, and Sentinel lay in a similar state. Provisional governors rule both cities now.
Okay. Let's ask about the League. He probably has a
What
high
is the
opinion of
Restless
them.
League, Captain?
Where did you hear that name?
They attacked the ship that gave me passage.
Speak of it but in a whisper, and not too often. The governor is searching the surrounding waters for them, and will see them broken and piked if he has his way.
Okay.
The League has survived the death of the Crown Prince and resists his enemies still. But they are few, and going fewer from what I hear, and have been reduced to brigandry these days. Not far from the lives we led not too long ago, eh?
Okay, let's back, and then I think we're done here.
I'll be back. If you're not here, thanks for everything. And good luck.
Just find your sister and get out of here. And send word through Sratra. Go on, you'll do fine.
I'll probably die again, honestly.
Can I help you?
We already spoke, remember? Did you forget? Let's save. I don't want to have to do all that talking again. Okay, let's... That was weird. I can only assume that was an
She
emulation
floats
too.
through my dreams with the greatest of ease. That fat one-eyed lady with sweet...
The fat one-eyed lady with sweet-smelling knees. What is he on about? Hang on, let's just look at the temple too. Well, everything will be easier when I get a map. Okay. Okay, that was odd. Okay, I think it's in this general direction. The candle health bar is interesting. Okay, I seem to be slightly more getting my bearings. Okay. I wonder if...
Well, what are we doing out so far from... You can what? Good, I must say. A beautiful shot. What?
Okay, that time I just like immediately killed him. I don't know how combat works. You're kidding me. Interesting. I hate everything. Now I have to fight that guy again. Okay, you know what? I don't even have that many viewers right now. So I think I'm tired of it crashing all the time. We just saved before that. So I think I will be I'll just end off the stream here. It is interesting. It is a very interesting game so far. I can't say I like the combat, but I'll do a bit of research and see what I can find out about how the combat actually works, because I do not get it. So yes, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all for being here. Let me check if I have anyone to raid. I do. Okay. There we go. We are doing a raid now. My little one viewer raid. Okay, for everybody who didn't go to the raid or who is on YouTube, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bad feeling about this whole raid.